Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
And that breaking news alert coming from the University of Nevada in Las Vegas. That's where police say a suspected shooter is dead after opening fire on campus. The word from officials is that there is no further threat to the public.
Since our 5 o'clock update, we've learned that there are at least 3 victims, though their conditions are not known. We can't even say yet whether there are any fatalities with any certainty. The sheriff says the number of victims, though, could change. So we continue to monitor the story, watching the latest developments from Las Vegas. We will update you just as soon as we know more. Back here in Metro Detroit tonight, a wild road rage incident in Livingston County caught a lot of drivers off guard as a fight between drivers broke out at a traffic light.
A 66-year-old man wound up with a head wound and lying on the ground as his attacker fled in their Chevy Malibu. Happened at the busy intersection of Grand River and Latson, where Local 4's Rod Maloney picks up the story.
The Livingston County Sheriff's Department says they don't even know what exactly happened, but there was some sort of altercation on the road coming southbound on Latson Road near Grand River. And it escalated till they got to this intersection where a fight breaks out and a man is lying on the ground with a dozen witnesses trying to figure out exactly what happened. Shortly after noon yesterday, a lot of people watched this traffic trouble erupt. One eyewitness took this picture showing a younger man assaulting an older man. Lieutenant Chad Sell says the attacker
approached the victim's vehicle, stopped in the middle of the road, exited his vehicle, demanded that the victim exit his vehicle. Once the victim stepped out of the vehicle, the assault occurred.
As the younger man and his friend sped off and the elder laying injured on the ground, the 911 calls erupted. EMTs brought the man to the hospital, who ended up treated and released today without serious injury. An eyewitness took down the younger man's license plate. Investigators found and spoke with him today, 38 years old, from Ypsilanti, but they did not arrest him because,
unfortunately, when it comes to road rage, everybody thinks they're right. And for some reason, everybody thinks that they're bulletproof when they get behind the wheel of a car.
This incident brought back sad memories of another infamous Genoa Township road rage incident back in 2014, ending with a shooting death. Lieutenant Sell advises drivers across the state,
don't get out of your car. Once you get out of your car, number one, you're standing in traffic, and number two, you don't know what that other person's going to do.
They say, fortunately in this, nobody was seriously injured, no weapons involved. But what they've done now is they've identified that suspect. They've taken all the information, handed it over to the Livingston County Prosecutor's Office to allow them to decide whether an arrest should be made. We're hearing they want to rely heavily on the eyewitness testimony to make that decision. Reporting live, Rod Maloney.
Yeah. Okay, Rod, thank you.
There's new video out tonight showing the ways a break-in crew is gaining entry into high-end homes in Oakland County. Oakland County Sheriff's Office is part of a new task force aimed at stopping this string of thefts, which include 5 homes in Bloomfield Township in just the past few days. Sheriff Mike Bouchard says the robbers are clearly well-trained, dressed in black, very aware of security cameras, and the thieves are using jammers to shut down wireless alarm systems. That could be a tip-off that they're operating in your neighborhood.
If you're in a neighborhood and unexplained, your wireless seems to be going down, and it never has happened before, and you're in one of these neighborhoods, that may be a good time just to put in a phone call to your local police department and say, hey, I'm not sure if it's related. I mean, don't call us every time your wireless goes down, please. But if it's very unusual and for whatever reason you can't figure out why your wireless isn't working, that may be indicative they're in your neighborhood.
The sheriff also reminds us the homes being targeted are usually next to either some woods or golf courses from which the thieves can approach the home.
Israel releasing new video which it says shows its troops in combat with Hamas militants. The fighting pushed civilians from north to south, but now they're surrounded in the south and cannot leave Gaza. Relief workers say they're blocked from sending food, water, and medicine. Israel is trying to destroy Hamas after the October 7th terror attack and wants all remaining hostages freed. Family members of some of those Israeli hostages spoke out today ahead of tomorrow's Menorah in the D celebration in downtown Detroit. The special guests just landed in Detroit this afternoon. Jacqueline Francis talked with them, and she's live tonight with more on their message. Jacqueline.
Kimberly, both family members of those hostages are here in Detroit to ask for help and unity, saying they need the whole world behind them in order to get their loved ones home.
Help me with the miracle. Help me celebrate Hanukkah with my dad.
Just 23 years old, Ella Ben-Ami has gone through the unimaginable. Her mother and father were both taken from their home in Israel, held hostage for weeks on end. Her mother was released last week.
The first thing she asked about is, where is dad? Where is Ohad? Where is my father?
Ella's father is one of about 140 hostages that remain. This Hanukkah, she wants the miracle of bringing him home.
We are very worried that they will not come back alive.
While it wasn't easy to leave Israel during this time, she traveled to Detroit to take part in tomorrow's Menorah in the D, hoping her presence will help bring awareness to the tragedy happening back home.
I'm not going to break until my dad will come back home, but I don't have enough power to do this. I need all the world to help me, and I'm here standing to ask your help.
She will be there tomorrow night at Menorah in the D that kicks off at 5 o'clock right here in Campus Martius. Reporting live, Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
We will be covering it. All right, Jacqueline, thank you.
A Macomb County woman whose reckless driving killed a pedestrian 10 years ago has been convicted of another serious incident behind the wheel. A jury found Shannara Reed of St. Clair Shores guilty this past Friday of all charges in a drunk driving crash dating back to June of 2020. That's when Reed crashed head-on into a vehicle carrying a family of 3 in Chesterfield Township. A mother in that vehicle suffered a broken leg. Reed lied to police and said someone else had been driving. Her trial was delayed for years as she continuously hired and fired different attorneys, but she's going to be sentenced now for 2 5-year felonies, drunk driving and driving with a suspended license. It is not her first nor most serious offense behind the wheel. In 2013, she was convicted in a hit-and-run accident that killed a 26-year-old man crossing the street in Ypsilanti. At that time, she received a sentence of 3 to 15 years.
An item someone brought home from up north caused a bit of a stir today. A Fowlerville man called the Livingston County Sheriff's Office saying he was in possession of this. It's a World War II anti-aircraft munition. He said he'd found it at his relative's house in northern Michigan and drove it to his house. Fowlerville schools were put into shelter in place mode for about an hour as the bomb squad determined it was not a live round. Sheriff's Office wants to remind people not to transport possible explosives, and to call 911 immediately if you do find one of those. All right, it's a case of cuteness overload at the Oakland County Sheriff's Office.
Their Comfort Canine crew has expanded again to a baker's dozen of adorable Cavalier King Charles Spaniels. Their job is to bring comfort to those who need it in any situations all around Oakland County.
Sean Lay drew the tough assignment of getting to know some of these popular puppies now featured in their own calendar.
Check it out. This is Max, everyone. Oh, there he is. Very good. He is one of the team of the Comfort Canines for the Oakland County Sheriff's Office. They go and provide comfort where they are needed. Awfully cute, of course, and there's a way you can see Max and his team, every day of the year.
How many and why?
We have 13, and we actually grew the Cav Squad, after we had so many things happen where we saw depression, anxiety was spiking. After COVID, you saw so many things that were going on with people. Suicides were dramatically up. And then, of course, we faced the tragedy of Oxford. So we kept adding the dogs. And they have been amazing. In fact, we just got a letter from a young student at Oxford saying, Oxford, one of our dogs, is the reason she's been able to go back to school.
Because she likes to visit with the dog.
She knows that dog's going to be waiting for her every day when she walks in the door.
The Oakland County Sheriff's Comfort Canine Squad, Cavalier King Charles Spaniels, hand-picked for their temperament, dispatched countywide. And now a Comfort Canine calendar just in time for the holidays.
Can you show us a little bit?
Yeah, so each dog will have a month. So all 13 dogs, and one obviously was on the cover, but there's Deputy Wildcat, named after Wildcat. The Oxford
very good.
mascot,
very
having
good.
a little nap there. And so each pup has their own month.
Zotter.
So that's Zotter. That's Indy. He's working in dispatch that day.
Taking calls, very good.
And there's
Colt.
Canine Colt.
There's Max again, looking good. He is sitting right here because his handler is right here, and that's Sheriff Bouchard. Calendars, absolutely beautiful. Would you like one? Any of the sheriff's social media pages, and the dogs, the Comfort Canines, also have social media pages. In Oakland County, Sean Lay, Local 4.
As cute as they can be, aren't they?
They've got a very human way of looking, giving you the side eye there. It's really cute.
They do. And as Sean said, Sheriff Bouchard tells us the department's Facebook page, the easiest way to order a Comfort Canine calendar.
Really cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's check out the situation over Campus Martius. We've got the ice rink, nice size. This is perfect, right? Not too busy.
Gorgeous. Yeah,
just about
you're right.
the right number of skaters out there. And it's a beautiful evening right now.
I know, and I just can't get enough of that tree.
I know.
It's just gorgeous. Yeah. Kim.
It is so beautiful. I love that shot. And I also love, if you look at it closely, there are a couple of skaters that are obviously better than everyone else, and they're just making laps around everyone.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
It's just fun to watch. It doesn't even look real. 37 in Detroit, mid-30s in Howell, 36 in Pontiac, and 38 in Adrian. Bus stop tomorrow morning. Mostly cloudy skies, but warmer than it was today, if you can call 33 warm. At least it's not in the 20s. And there's hope, because we will warm up rather quickly, and by the afternoon, we will be well above our average high. Our average high right now is 40, and by tomorrow afternoon, we'll be at 46 degrees. We'll have quite a few clouds throughout the day tomorrow, but maybe a break or two of the sun as well. Take a look at our My Pick. This is Bob's display in Detroit. Really cute house there with a little snowman by the door. Well, if you haven't got your holiday lights up, you still have some time, because tomorrow and Friday will be dry and warm. Saturday, we'll get through half of the day dry with temperatures in the 50s. Sunday's different than we thought last night. The forecast has definitely changed, and I'll talk about that in a few minutes.